think we're good. 1 second. Make sure everything is clear. Great rise, great rise, great rise. In the moonlight, beloved. Great rise, great rise. You know who this is. It's your girl, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, and it is Melanated Monday. I want to thank you all for coming in when you get here. One day y'all gonna be on time. You gonna be waiting on me, and I'll just be shocked. But in the meantime, I'm waiting on you. So in here, come on in so we can start this discussion. Um, it's gonna be pretty deep. I feel myself being pulled into a different kind of zone tonight. So just rock with it. That's all I can tell you. Rock with it. All right. For those of you who are new to the channel, to my YouTube channel, who have not been here yet, please make sure you subscribe. Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, as God is spelled. Is God is Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. Please make sure to participate. All right. Everything we talk about is for the purpose of edifying, giving you some information, teaching you a little something, giving you some armor, if you will. We are battling some things, and some of us are battling more than others, but nonetheless, we all need each other in some way, shape, or form to get through. So I'm gonna give you all a moment to get here so we can talk. In the background, you may hear some um, music, some sounds. It's meditative. Um, these are binaural beats. I'm playing them deliberately. We're using a frequency of 369, which is to help eliminate some fears, particularly those that may have stemmed from any previous trauma. Um, we're going to see if we can help you all get a little bit more fearless, because we're being called to do some things that require us to be fearless in doing so. So there it is. There's my spiel. I'm waiting on you. I'm waiting on you. Come on in. Again, tonight's discussion for YouTube, it says the message behind the madness, which is what we are discussing. The message behind the madness is still dealing with all of the issues that were mentioned. So we're going to talk about it. Who came in here? I'd like to address you properly. I see you, so I appreciate you, and hopefully you'll stay and participate and share and like and all that kind of stuff. So who's with me? Because I see you, so I can greet you accordingly. Um, what's up, pimping? That's what I was talking about. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you for being here. You're first. You're first. But nonetheless, hopefully you can stay. If not, try to come back, share the video. And a lot of these issues I'm talking about, even though they affect, so I'm not necessarily targeting men tonight, but if you're here, it might be something that you can relate to, or you may know someone who can. All right, so the people are coming on in. So as you come in, please make yourself known. Let me know who's there so I can greet you accordingly. And again, if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate, please do so. And it's Goddess spelled Godis, like God is, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. Please, 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 please make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. All right, I'm gonna give maybe one more minute, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Again, the discussion topic for YouTube is the message behind the madness. What we are discussing um, deals with spirituality. It deals with torment. It deals with emotionalism. It deals with a lot of things. War, and I mean psychological, spiritual warfare, that type of thing. So if this is not something that you can tolerate, I understand, but you might want to be here at least for a few minutes. Okay. So again, somebody else just came in. Please let me know who it is so I can greet you accordingly. We're gonna get started. For those who are not here, they'll catch it when they get here. You again are hearing, if you are hearing it, I'm playing binaural beats. in the background. These are frequencies that are made for specific things. We are listening to a frequency at 369, which is geared toward releasing fear. This was for me to have this going on in the background, and I've cleansed my environment as well. Like that was necessary. I'm also grounded here. So let's just get started. I said, you all are here, so say something to me and make sure you share this video, because there's definitely going to be some people who are not going to be here that need to get access to this right here. Miss Clara, what's going on, hunty? Thank you so much. Thank you, girl. Thank you. I was trying to do a little something. Appreciate you. Yeah, but I appreciate you for being here. Hopefully other people will come on in. So again, I always, like I tell you, I always meditate first on what the topic should be. And tonight's topic was actually part of a conversation that I was having last night. So as I was having it, it was put on me, this needs to be discussed. There are many different aspects to tonight's discussion. We got to do it. So one of the things that I'm noticing, particularly amongst our people, is a great increase in mental disturbances, emotional disturbances, spiritual disturbances. There's an influx, if you will, of people being diagnosed, even if it's incorrect, being diagnosed with certain isms. And I'll just leave it at that, because we're going to actually have that conversation maybe another week or two with somebody. But a lot is going on. People are out here suffering a lot, and they're suffering in silence, because they're not speaking. A lot of people don't understand the importance of speaking what's going on with you, speaking about the things that you are experiencing. I have mentioned numerous times that there is a process that we all must go through in order to heal. I've broken them down into 3 steps. Don't get me wrong. There are more things attached to the 3 steps. What's going on, cousin? Glad you made it, loved one. There are more than, it's 3 that. The first being acknowledgement. Excuse me. In acknowledgement, you are acknowledging word. You have to acknowledge that something has happened. After you have acknowledged it, what's going on, D Mays? After you have acknowledged it, you have to speak it out loud. You have to talk about it out loud. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. You have to talk about it out loud. There is a power in your voice. There's a power in your vibration, in your frequency. It's going out for a reason. Okay, it has to go out for a reason. And then the third, is accountability. You're not being accountable for the trauma. You're not being asked to be accountable for the trauma, but you have to be accountable for how you are either holding on to it or how you are releasing the trauma. Okay, if necessary, we'll go back over this again in a little bit, but I want to get those 3 things out because of the things that we're dealing with. Like I said, I was having a conversation last night, and it struck me. I've had this conversation before with other people, so it wasn't new, but last night it struck me. I'm seeing a lot of people who are, I said, experiencing emotional or spiritual disconnections, confusion, chaos, whatever. They don't know what to do. They have no answers. They all over the place. They can't make decisions. It's just all over the place. It's chaotic. Nothing in their life seems to be going right. They get hit by every type of plague, on them. There's nobody to really talk to. They have a feeling that they're all by themselves. Nobody's going to understand. Nobody's going to get it. There's no help for them. This is what they're used to. They've been going through this for years. It's just part of who they are. There's an acceptance with that. And it's all bullshit. And I'm not saying that to be smart or light about the subject. It's just not correct. And it is for a reason, but understanding the reason is how you get through it. There's a song, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with it if you saw The Color Purple, that says, maybe God is trying to tell you something. The things that we go through, the things that we experience, are for a reason. They don't necessarily feel good. The outcome is not necessarily what we would like for it to be, but the process that we're in at the time is deliberate. It is to cause us to shift in some way how we think, how we move, how we speak, who we interact with, whatever is deliberately made to cause a shift within us that changes the environment of everything we're connected to. Energy is everything. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. Okay? Which is when I talk about the process, you have to go through all of these steps. All of these steps are connected. There's an energy in everything. You can't skip anything. You got to go through every part of the process. Energy connects to energy, connects to energy, connects to a circumstance, connects to another condition, connects to an outcome, whatever. So we can't skip them. And we often try to do that. We don't want to deal with it. So, whatever the case is, we will dismiss it. We will put it to the side and say, well, we'll deal with that another time. We don't have time to deal with that right now. I don't feel like doing it. Whatever excuse we give, we just don't address the issue at the time, thinking that because we're not addressing it, that it's going to go away. It doesn't. It stays there and it magnifies. It waits for another inopportune moment to show its face, to add on more drama and trauma, if you will. It doesn't go away until you address it. We get put in positions where we feel powerless. And I'm going to tell you, this was put on me just a few minutes ago. We're put in a position where we feel powerless, and that is one of the tricks of the devil. The devil will make you think and feel like there's nothing you can do, like nobody's going to help you, like you're going to be stuck in your situation forever. You might as well just get comfortable. That's the job of the devil, is to cause you to be life, the complete opposite of the truth, because the devil knows, which is also an energy, knows that you have the power to conquer it. It knows that you have the power to defeat it. It knows you have the power. We give it the power to be what it is, but it knows that you have the power to conquer what is trying to make you feel like you don't. You have the power to conquer this, whatever it is. Um, I'm going back and forth, so just I'm speaking as it's being given to me. I want to talk about some things in particular that you might be dealing with and why you might be dealing with them. One of the things is chaos and confusion in your mind. Chaos and confusion in your mind. We know that God is not the author of confusion. So where there is a bunch of confusion, there is some adversarial participation goings on. Okay. A lot of times we battle things in our minds, but it's just us. It's our battle. It's a spiritual battle. We're battling what we know we should do versus what we want to do, because what we want to do feels better to us versus what we may be called to do, what we need to do. That's work that takes away from what we want to feel. So we'll find a way to act like we didn't hear it or act like we don't need to deal with it. It's not going away. Okay, I'm gonna read your comment in 1 second. The chaos, the confusion is to cause you to pause. It's to cause you to give up. It's to cause you to surrender. But most people in during that moment don't surrender to the greater. They surrender to what's available. They surrender to what is going to provide the outcome that they're looking for at the time. With every decision, there's a consequence. Okay? With every decision, there's a consequence. So if you surrender to what is convenient, you are going to be convicted by what is righteous. And that's just straight up. It is what it is. Okay. But I said we deal with the chaos, we deal with the confusion, we deal with sometimes people feel like they're being haunted by things. They feel like no matter what they do, where they go, nothing. They're being haunted by a thought. They're being haunted by, they may even feel like something is physically there. They're being haunted by a presence. They're being haunted by a memory. They're being haunted by a condition, whatever it is. It just won't go away. Well, why won't it go away? Because it's not being allowed in a way to go away. It's not being forced to go away. What we'll tend to do, and this is in many different situations, is we'll have something or somebody in our life that we know is no good for us, means no good to us, for us, with us, in us, about us, for us, nothing. It cannot bring anything positive to your life, but instead of you putting it out or putting them out or walking away from it or them, you just sit back and hope that it will leave you alone, that it or they will just walk out of your life. It's not. It's not. It entered into your life because it has a purpose. It has a purpose to get something from your life. And sometimes the purpose that it's trying to get from your life is your life. I said it. Sometimes the purpose of something or someone being in your life is to get your life, is to take your life. It's not going to go away until you send it away, until you make it go away, until you make yourself unaccessible to it or them, whatever it is. It correct. It just does not work that way. What's going on, DJ? Thank you for being here, loved one. And G, I see, babe. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you both. Work has to be done, is what I'm saying. Okay. Along with the chaos and the confusions and the hauntings, people are also experiencing recurring dreams, nightmares, I'll say. One thing about, and I've learned this through experience and some study and some download. One thing about recurring dreams, nightmares, there's signs. Okay, dreams, period. There's signs. There's always a message in it, but we often misread it. We don't get it. If you are redoing something, re means again. If you are redoing something, means you are doing it again. It's a cycle, right? It's a repeated cycle. You are doing it again. It is a reminder that something is not complete. Something is not complete. Something did not get done. Something is not been addressed. You are repeating a cycle, which means you're doing this as opposed to doing this. You're going around in circles as opposed to walking a straight line. If you don't want to keep repeating the cycle, then you have to break the chain of the circle. You have to break that, which means you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to be uncomfortable for a moment because you've gotten comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, but it keeps repeating because you keep giving it life. How are you giving it life? By not killing it. You're giving it life by not killing it. You're giving it permission to grow. You're giving it permission to have access to you. You're giving it permission to take control. You're giving it permission to be. Take it back. If you're having recurring dreams, it's a sign that you have not completed something, and you're going to keep going there until you have completed it or until you have addressed it. One of the like recurring dreams, like there's categories, and sometimes we have or we'll experience the same type of thing. Like you have dreams where um, I'm sure some of you have had dreams where your teeth have fallen out your mouth, all of them gone, or dogs biting at your hands, or somebody trying to kill you, or you trying to kill somebody, whatever. You've had these types of dreams. So if you're having dreams where somebody or something is attacking you or is trying to kill you consistently, you're always having this same dream. It's not that's happening. It's an internal. Your dreams are external visions of what is occurring internally. You have to be able to see what's happening inside. And the only way for you to see what's happening inside is for it to be projected through your dreams. So if somebody or something is showing you that you are being under attack or that you are being killed, somebody is trying to kill you, or an external circumstance that's trying to do that, it's you. It's the battle within yourself. It's a characteristic about yourself that you're battling. Imagine that. It's a characteristic within yourself that you're battling. And oftentimes these come about when there is trauma at any age. Okay. If it's not addressed correctly and you have not healed from it, you will repeat cycles. You'll repeat behaviors. You repeat emotional whatevers. You'll stay in this, was that the little rat thingy jiggy? You know what I'm saying? If you don't address these things properly, you'll stay right there, and you can be there forever. You can be there for the rest of your life if it's not addressed correctly. Recurring dreams indicate, I said, they indicate unresolved issues and trauma. Maze, thank you, baby. That's it. Unresolved issues and trauma. Um, Stress. And stress is anything that possesses any type of threat. So if you are threatened by making decisions because you feel if you make a decision, it's going to be a stressor, but that stressor is going to cause you to continuously be in the same maze because you're going to keep repeating the same behavior. You're going to continuously do it. There's no way out. You have to make a decision, people. And I've said this so many times, and I know it comes across sometimes as, well, it's so easy to do. Just make a decision. Oh, it's just that simple. I don't tell you nothing I don't experience, okay? When I tell you everything is connected to a decision, I mean exactly that. Everything is connected to a decision. Am I saying you be traumatized? I am not. What I'm saying is how you handle that trauma, what you do after a decision, whether you like it or not. You have made a decision to either do what is necessary to heal from it, or you've made a decision to act like it didn't happen. You all good, and you gonna just tuck it under the rug and keep on moving, and you gonna be all good. And everything that comes from that trauma is still gonna keep happening, and you just gonna keep saying, I'm good with it. It's a decision. Some people are afraid of making decisions, and it reflects in the dream. It reflects in their nightmares. You're constantly running from something. I'm going to stick with this with somebody trying to kill you part or trying to attack you. When you are having these types of nightmares, somebody is trying to attack you and you're running. What you need to do is stop yourself from running in the dream and turn around and face it. This is an indication that you are out of control. You're running. You don't have control. Somebody else has control, or some other circumstance has control. You don't have it. There's a fear of being, because the decision may lead you to failure, so you don't do anything. There are fears that your insecurities are going to be exposed. Um, Fears of moving forward, of taking new steps, of changing your behavior, changing your pattern, doing something out of the box. There's a fear in that. And that fear causes you to be frozen. It stops you from moving. I told you before, there are the two strongest emotions that human beings can have is love and fear, because they will cause you to do something to the extreme. Both of them. Love will cause you to do something extreme, and fear will cause you to do something extreme, even if what is extreme is to do nothing. You can be so scared that you can see a train coming toward you and you stop. It's like the deer in the headlight syndrome. Fear, I don't know what to do, so I ain't gonna do nothing. Fear will cause you to be frozen and to do absolutely nothing. You can't move. You can't do anything in a state of fear. You have to, absolutely, it's paralyzing. You have to consciously be aware of your ability and power to change the circumstance. You have to be reminded, remind yourself how you were created. You have to remind yourself how you were created. This is important. I'm telling you what's being given to me. We are created in the image and likeness of God. We have the ability to do these things. We have the ability to do so. But fear has caused us to believe that we have no control, and that we're going so that we submit ourselves to the adversary. We give it control over how we think and how we move and how we feel. We give it permission to control us, and yet we're still trying to run from that which we gave permission to control us. We gave it permission to control us, yet we're trying to run from it. Ain't gonna happen. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns that you would like to share, if you want to call, feel free to do so. 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271. I'm going to go back and read these comments real quick. Thank you, D. Mays, for sharing. I appreciate that. Cousin, you said unaddressed issues will eventually address themselves in your actions, behaviors, thinking, relationships, and so on. Absolutely. They always do. They always do. Let me see what else we got here. Why is it repeating? It just doesn't work that way. Absolutely. Girl, hush your mouth. Indeed. G. Walker. Let me see what you got here. He said, Lucifer, that old devil, is the deceiver, the great accuser, and he likes to use your own inadequacies as a means or method to make you feel like you're helpless or hopeless. Well, there was more there, but my finger just dismissed it. Let me go back. He said, because you were wonderfully made and God does not make mistakes. And you, no matter who you are, please know that you are definitely not a mistake. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing. Anthony, what's going on, love? And I appreciate you for being here. Again, if you want to call in, feel free to do so. 770-906-521. I have asked, I have pleaded to Most High, ancestors, spiritual guides, to be here. Particularly if and or when speak directly, let them receive it. However that comes out, like don't run from that. Okay, I'm just saying if the atmosphere changes, it's all good. Let me answer this real quick. G Walker, what's going on, loved one? What's going on, love?
Much. I just want to kind of not even say piggyback. Basically, I guess make an additional comment to what you were talking about as far as people fear and faith. Mm-hmm. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Faith is God. Like mm-hmm. Fear is the lack of thereof. How about that? Mm-hmm. Just leave it like that. Right. You know, God is not, like you said, God is not giving us the spirit of fear, but a love, power, and a sound mind. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of things that what makes me, I guess, more dangerous than I used to be is the fact that if I was frustrated or mad, then I would act out in anger. Now, what the thing about it is, like you say, under duress, it doesn't even it doesn't even really bother me, because I ain't gonna say it don't bother me, but I tell it in a different aspect because I'm able to think myself through my way through it and know what it is and identify it. And those things that used to be big, even though they may be big, it's about me building it up, either to tear it down or to build it up. Right. It's all in the mind.
Absolutely.
You get the mind going, the head, you control the head, and everything else will follow.
Absolutely.
You know. Think upon those things of high stake. In other words, balance or stationary, foundation in your mind. Right. And don't allow your mind. See, the first thing I'm just gonna say the mistake a lot of people have made, and I didn't mean to sing with it, but I'm gonna sing with it. A lot of people have made is that they forgot their first love. I'm gonna leave it at that. You forgot your first love, so you wavering because you're comfortable in your own uncomfortableness because you've been subjected under this system, the systematic system of sickness, and you're ill and you don't even realize it. Right. And the enemy is coming at you in so many variety of ways that you're not even apparent. A lot of people not even aware of the way, even the ones that think they're conscious and aware, they're not even aware of the way that the systematic, they're being up under attack. I put it that way. Right. Let me give you a quick example and I'm done with it. You ain't gotta, people, we get numbers and this and that, and they going through this, and it's a spirit of this. Well, how about, let's just say, for example, you go get a job, you get money, you start bringing your things that you really can't pay for in cash. Now you're in debt. You still gotta go back to a job. Now you live paycheck to paycheck. You barely make it. If you miss a check, then you understand? You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? You ain't got to get out your part.
I hear you.
Get your house in order. In other words, seek God and worry about the rest. He take care of the rest of it. But if you, I'd rather deal with things with God, good or bad, indifferent, whatever, than to deal. Than, like I said before, than to have the rest of my life without dealing with anything without God.
Right.
Because it ain't gonna be meaningful.
I hear you.
It's empty. So you got a lot of empty vessels out there, a lot of tinkling brass out there. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I appreciate you, darling. I appreciate you. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, this has been a recording.
Okay. Bye.
Hey, I need to talk to you real quick too.
Okay. Okay. All right. I want to also make it clear that a lot of times people have this belief that they have to deal with things by themselves. You don't. But what I will also say is sometimes you are forced to be by yourself so that you can remember that you're not by yourself. Sometimes you're forced to be by yourself so you can remember that you're not by yourself. We want to do things as superhumans and we can handle everything, and we really can't. And then there's this whole feeling of failure and I'm all alone and I can't do nothing right. And, you go into a depression and anxiety and more stress, and that stress becomes part of your body. Stress becomes part of your body. Okay. It becomes part of your emotional memory, all of that. Okay. Because you want to be bigger than what you are in your human form. to do everything alone. It's not required of you to do everything alone, but you will have those times where you are being pulled away, you are being separated from, you are being separated from the rest of the people, the nations, the circumstances, the whatever. You're being separated from that. You are being called out to be alone for a moment, but you're not by yourself. You're being called out for a moment because this particular, on behalf of the Most High, I have to pull you out of the circle that you're in. I have to pull you circumstances that you're in. I have to pull you out of all this glory that you keep giving yourself. I have to pull you out of all these things that you keep buying for yourself, all these material things. I have to pull you out of all of that. I have to take all these things from you. I got to strip you down to nothingness again. I got to put you on your knees and throw you down to your face. I got to do all that so you can hear me, so you can feel me, so you can know me, so you can remember me, so you can let me be me. Sometimes you got to get broken all the way down to get built all the way up, and knowing that it wasn't by your own hand, it wasn't by your own doing. We forget to give praise and recognition where it belongs. We forget that. We forget it. We forget that we are not here by ourselves. We forget that we can only do so much in our human form. There's only so much we can do. It's only so much we can do. It's only so much we can say. Cousin says, I used to constantly dream about being in a suspended state in hell. And it would be like flying minions all around fighting me every time I tried to climb out. And I could hear this ominous voice saying, let's see if we can see what you're saying. You thought I was going to let you go, and I had no understanding of what was going on at the time. But as you know, I've suffered and survived traumatizing situations since I hit this earth, but it wasn't until I sought help and took accountability for the very things that haunted me that I was able to gain peace and understanding and become responsible for my life, and hell was no more. And hallelujah. Yes, indeed. And I know it for you. I know it for you, cuz I know it for you. Absolutely. That's the part that people don't want to do. They're not ready to take accountability. Like I said, we're so used to having someone or something to blame everything on, except looking at us, because we're focused so much on what was actually done to us. We're focused so much on the trauma. We focus on the things that we don't have, what we don't have access to, what's not being given to us, and we're not grateful. We're not grateful for the things that we do have. We're not mindful for the things that we will have or are able to do. So focus on where you are right now. If you stay focused on your current circumstance, your current situation, that is where your energy is. That is where the focus is. That is what's going to be that's the movement. That's it. Oh, this is where you want to be. This is where you put all your energy. This is what you want. This is where all your eggs going into your circumstances as of right now, or where you've been. This is what you're about. Then that's what you're about. What's going on? Asad, thank you, loved one, for being here. Great vibrations. Wherever you put your energy, that's what you're going to cause to manifest. That's what you're going to see on a regular basis. What's going on, George? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. This is what you're going to see the most of. Wherever you direct your energy, energy is everything. Everything is energy. Wherever you direct the most of your energy, that is what's going to be. Your energy is your inner God. Wherever you direct your God, that power, because that's what it is, the mighty one God. Wherever you direct your God to be, that's where your God is going to be. That's what it's going to manifest. See, I know I said some things, some of y'all did went right over or went around you, or you ducked it because you ain't want to get hit by that truth for real. I know it happened. I get it. But that's that accountability I'm talking about. This is why we end up staying in a lot of the circumstances that we're in, because we don't want to hold ourselves accountable for being there. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable for getting out. We don't want to be responsible for what happens when we make a decision. We don't want to be responsible for those consequences. So we don't make decisions. Or we're afraid if we make a decision, we're going to make the wrong decision. It's going to cause us to be uncomfortable again. It's going to cause us to have to move differently. It's going to cause us to have to accept change. And we don't want to accept change because we're used to whatever this mess is. Even though it's mess, we're used to this mess. We have learned to make huts out of this mess. Like piles of shit. We have learned to build with these piles of shit. We've learned to make bricks out of this pile of shit. That kind of thing. We've gotten comfortable with that. There's a syndrome for that. Okay. I'm just saying. That's a real problem. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or would like to share and call in, you do so. 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271. Again, for those of you who are just coming in, I appreciate you. What we are discussing, as I've titled it on YouTube, it says the message behind the madness. And we're also discussing the spiritual tormenting. What's happening? Why is it happening? The bottom line, why these things are happening, is because someone is trying to get your attention. If it's recurring, something is happening if it's recurring, it's happening because something has not been addressed, something has not been finalized. But the fact that it's recurring, and you know that it's recurring, you're conscious enough to know that it's recurring, is an indication that something greater than you is trying to get your attention. Something greater than you is trying to get your attention. It wants you to leave your focus, drop your focus off from where it is and redirect it. Don't dwell in this here. I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to come for you. I'm sending signals. I'm sending angels. I'm sending. I said, we talked about seeing these repeating numbers. This is how angels communicate. This is real stuff. Things that you think are coincidences when there are none. These things are happening for a reason. It's to get your attention. Pay attention. Start questioning at that time. Speak out loud. Acknowledge it for what it is. Question it. You are allowed to question. We've been told that we're not allowed to question certain things. Question it. If you don't know, you ask. Question it. Seek diligently. Get the answers. Things are happening to us collectively as a people for a reason, and we're missing it. We're missing it. We're missing it and dismissing it. Dismissing it. We don't want to deal with it. We don't want to accept it. We don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to be changed by it. We don't want to change with it. We don't want to do that. We want to sit right here as we are, uncomfortable, sit back and wait for somebody to come save us, to come swoop us up out of all this mess that we have put ourselves in, and we keep ourselves in it, but we want somebody else to get us out. That ain't happening. I'm sorry. That's what you got told. That's what we've been told. Just sit back, wait, pray, and God gonna come get you. No, that ain't it. Sorry. That's not how this is happening. If you want to call in, 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. Again, just to go back over a little bit when we were talking about the recurring nightmares, there's a message in there. Something is unresolved. Whatever it is you are running from if you're running from something in your dream, or if somebody is trying to cause harm to you in your dream, if somebody is trying to kill you in your dream, there's a message in that, and it's not external. As I explained, our dreams are external visions of what's occurring internally. That's the only way for us to see what's really happening. So If somebody is constantly trying to take you out in your dream, you are constantly running away from something, there is an indication in that you have a fear of losing control. You have a fear of making decisions. There is a concern with being exposed in your vulnerabilities, being exposed in your insecurities. It's about fear. And as long as you continue to run from what is chasing you, you'll stay in that rat race. You're going to stay in that pinwheel. You're going to stay in that maze. You're going to always be fearful. What you have to do, and I'm trying to remember what the lucid, they're called lucid dreams. In a lucid dream, you are aware that you're having the dream. You're aware of it, and you can control what happens. So in the midst of these dreams, of these nightmares, you have the ability, I'm trying to think what state you have to be in. It's either beta or theta. I can't remember. Might be theta. Don't get me lying. But you have the ability to control the outcome of what's happening in your dream. When you are able to get to that point of controlling what you're dreaming, you are controlling what is going on internally. You have the ability to change your circumstances, but you have to be willing to do what is necessary to come out of those circumstances. That again was the number 3 in the process of healing. First is acknowledging the trauma. Second is talking about it out loud. Third is holding yourself accountable for how you are either staying in the trauma or releasing it. That's that number 3, being accountable. You are able to release yourself from the trauma that you are in if you make the decision to do so. In making a decision, there's going to be an outcome. There's going to be a consequence in that. Things are going to change. Energies are going to line up. There's going to be, with whatever the next step is for you, whatever the next level is for you, they're going to line up. But people are afraid or an inner stand, so they do nothing. They stay in that frozen state of fear that causes them to do nothing. That is the extreme emotion, nothingness. That's the extreme movement, stillness, frozen, extreme. You have to make a decision on what you want your life to be about, regardless to how many connections you may have to lose, regardless to how many tangible material things you may have to let go of, regardless to what your credit score may be right now, and it may drop down to 0, but you'll have everything that you need. You have to be willing to let it go. And that's going to be uncomfortable, tormented, or a little uncomfortable. I'm just saying, the decision is yours, but you must make one. Not making a decision will cause a decision to be made on your behalf, and you really won't have no control over it. You really won't have any control because you didn't make the decision. You again allowed something or someone else to make the decision for you. So again, you're not participating in it. So that thing that you keep dreaming about losing control, about not having control, you keep surrendering it by not taking control. This doggone thing here. We're going to see what's happening over here with Facebook. I don't know if you all are still there with me. There we go. We keep having this issue with this internet connection. I don't know what's going on. Nonetheless, we're here. Do you all have any questions, comments, or concerns, or anything that I need to repeat or address that I haven't already addressed? If you have something that you want to share that is personal, feel free to do so. If you have any experiences that you would like to share or anything that you want me to answer, please do so. Like, don't keep it to yourself. This is happening for a reason. Like I said, I have meditated, I have prayed on this, I've sat back and just listened to what's being given to me to give to you. Sometimes you know, these moments are for an hour, sometimes it's for 30 minutes, sometimes for 15 minutes. I say what need to be said and I get the hell on. So if you all have anything that you would like to say before we dismiss, please feel free to do so. But those dreams, those nightmares, those reoccurring things that you're having, it's for a reason. Again, remind yourself of the song that's part of the color purple. Maybe God is trying to tell you something. It's a reason you keep experiencing what you're experiencing. It's a reason for it. Don't act like you don't hear yourself being called. Don't act like you don't hear your name being called. We talked about that, was it last week? The calling. Don't act like you don't hear it. You being called. Don't act like you don't hear it. Well, let me see if there are any more comments. This just keeps repeating itself. So yeah, I think that's it. All right, I don't see any more comments. So since there are none, I think I have said all that I need to say. Um, Most High, I'm asking at this point, at this very moment, that those that are with me right now, those that will be with me right now, those that will be with me later, those that will watch, those that will share, that you touch them specifically. Remind them of your existence, remind them of your power, remind them of the power that you have given to us. Remove the sense of fear and hopelessness and confusion and chaos and haunting and anxiety and depression and loneliness and lack. Remove those factors, those beliefs, those burdens. Remove those things from everyone that is here and everyone that will be here. Remove them. Cause them to remember the strength and the power that they are. They do not have to relinquish the strength and power that they are, and particularly not to the adversary. Let them no longer be confused by the adversary. Let them no longer be tricked into believing that they are powerless and surrender their power to the adversary. Let them hear you and acknowledge that they hear you and run to you and not away from you. No fear. You're calling us, you're calling us, you are calling us in masses. You are calling your people back to you. You're calling your people back to you. Cause us to hear and be obedient in the calling and to make the steps necessary in faith and overstanding and understanding. Cause us to move in your direction. Order the steps, clear the path. Let that be done. Let that be done. What's going on, T Harp? You say, please speak out on, speak on out of body. Okay, out of body experience. I had to read that a little slowly. It's an involuntary out of body experience. Okay, so real quick, out of body experiences do happen. Sometimes people, I don't want to say they don't recognize it as such because it can be very subtle, and then some of the time it can be very very clear and obvious where you know that you have traveled somewhere, when you can actually look down at yourself and see you in whole. Um, as far as like, I can't speak specifically on a great out of body experience. Have I had one or two? I have, but they've been just like small, but I've been mindful to be aware of what was happening. Um, it's very amazing. It's very powerful. And it can be scary if you are not grounded, for one, and open to the knowledge, the knowing that it exists. And it exists for a reason. People will try to put everything that they don't understand as demonic and wicked and evil, and it's not. Um, like, even when you're even in dream state, that's pretty much an out of body experience also. But we just see it's a dream, but it's still something you're experiencing and you're not physically there. But they're very real. I would not advise at this point, because there's a way of provoking it. I would not advise that. Um, I wouldn't advise it. Like, it can be done. I just would not advise it, particularly if you are not in that spiritual realm that there's a certain type of connection one needs to have, because you can escape your body and have no way of getting back. Okay. And if if you get to that, open for something else to invade it, bring it back to you, and it ain't what left. Okay. Like, you can leave out your body, forget how to get back, and something else get right on in that body, wake you up, and when you wake up, you ain't what you left out as. So I would not advise that you do that, but just know it can happen. I don't want to go over y'all's head because I know I can. But I definitely wanted to address um, your questions, the involuntary out of body experiences. Absolutely. They happen. They most definitely happen. Um, yeah, that they both were involuntary. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, when it happened for you, I'm talking on YouTube, when it happened for you, were you able to bring yourself back? Were you very conscious that it was happening? Somebody else just showed up. I don't know who that was, but thank you for being here. Were you conscious enough to know that it was happening, and were you able to bring yourself back? Well, obviously, because you're here, but don't laugh. Um, let me see what else we got going on. It's like I'm trying to read different posts, but it's just repeating. So there might not even be anything else. Roderick, okay, there you go. Roderick, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. So if you have any questions you want to ask me before I get off of this live, you can call in if you like, 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. We were discussing the message behind the madness and spiritual tormenting, these things that are happening to people on a collective that's causing them to basically be out of their natural mind, being out of their spiritual mind, which would be a natural mind, not being able to function or make decisions, being in a lot of chaotic states, chaotic and confusing conditions, feeling haunted and tormented spiritually, feeling of hopelessness and defeatedness, loneliness, anxiety, stress, depression, all that kind of thing. Why is it happening? Why are these things happening? And it's happening so much more often collectively. And I'm saying that it's happening for a reason. And the main reason is that God is trying to tell you something. There's a reason for it. And if you're having reoccurring dreams, reoccurring nightmares, there's a reason for those too. And it's not necessarily because of anything external. Your dreams are external visions of what is occurring internally. What we got to remember also is that a lot of times when we are dreaming, it's not like when you dream about somebody else doing something or whatever, it's not necessarily that somebody else is doing that. Dreams reflect, like I said, their external visions of what's happening internally. So the dreams reflect what's happening with us inside. So a lot of the battles that you may have in your dreams, a lot of the like if people are coming for you, they trying to cause you harm or trying to kill you or whatever it is. It's not so much that somebody outside is trying to do that. It's what's going on inside of you. It's the confusion that's going on inside of you. It's the fear that's going on inside of you, the fear of losing control or not having control, or the fear of failure, or um, just not being able to please other people. Like it even deals with that, the fear of not being able to please other people, the fear of making a bad decision so you don't make any decisions at all of those things have to deal with just that type of dream, just that one. So there's a lot of aspects in that. So if you find yourself not making decisions or afraid of making them, and your dreams are reminding you of that, they're recurring because something is not being done, something has not been completed, so you're going to keep repeating it until it's completed. We want to act like we'll just push it away and not deal with it, but until you finish it, you're going to repeat it. So finish it. Stop running, stop giving control away, stop running. Turn around, stop, and face what it is you are afraid of. And then you'll realize the only thing you are afraid of is yourself. It's you. You said, yes, you were conscious of both and was also involuntarily brought back to my body. That's wow. That's what's up. Because you involuntarily brought back. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're back. Okay. All right, my people, do you all have any more questions? You got one more time to call, 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. Going once, going twice, and we're out of here. So on that note, I appreciate you all for being here. I hope this was able to give you some type of edification, something. Take it to heart, keep it in mind, remind yourself, play this back if you must. Everything is happening for a reason. It's happening a lot more to the collective. Okay, so it's not just you. You're not the only one going through it. You're not the only one experiencing it. It's a reason that it's happening, and it's a reason that it's happening right now, because we as the people of the Most High are being called back. We are being called to do what we were purposed to do in the first place. Is a whole shift in the awakening. There's a shift in the awakening, in the mental awakening of the people. It's a shift happening, and it has to happen. It's that shift, the shift in how we think, that causes the movement of the energy, so it can cause a change in the atmosphere. So everything that we would like to see happen, that needs to happen, can happen. The more we fight ourselves, the more we try to ignore, the more we bring about a repeating of the history. I keep telling y'all, Most High is trying to show us that we do not have to repeat history. We do not have to be the next edition of the Bible. There doesn't need to be a Revelation part 2 or whatever. Okay, for us it will be part 2. And don't tell how many other revelations there have been. It doesn't have to be that. We're being shown that right now during these times, that it doesn't have to repeat. If we change our minds collectively and change that energy and change our spirit and all of that, we will change the direction of things. We will change the frequency, the vibration of things, of what's natural. It'll go back to being natural. I told you the natural frequency of the earth is 432 megahertz. They don't tell them what it's on right now, but whatever it is, it's chaotic. It's probably at 440. That's just my thought. But that frequency is chaos. And same to you, T Harp. I always appreciate your loved one. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to take you too far out, but that's that. So I appreciate you all for being here. Again, I hope this has done something for you. Absolutely. I hope this has done something for you, giving you some over an understanding of what's going on, why it's going on, and know that you are being called to do something greater than what you have already been doing. You're being called to do it. You have the ability to do it. You're ambassadors. We are ambassadors. We're supposed to be doing something else. Okay. Having said all of that, I love you on purpose, with purpose. And until I see you again, peace. Peace out.